Why, hello there, everybody, and welcome to our Age of Strife auditions. Today we have Greg. But first, for those of you who don't know what Age of Strife is, it's an upcoming D&D campaign that I'll be running, premiering on September 11th, and it's going to be notably low magic, basically non-magic, and the world's fallen to pieces, and the players are going to have to fix it. But before we get to that, let's talk about Greg for a moment. Greg, who are you?
Well, my name is Greg. I am a middle school math teacher from Minnesota. I have no online presence to speak of, but I'm doing a lot of tabletop gaming for about the last 20 years. I had a lot of experience with 3.0, 3.5. 4.0 I did not enjoy, so I went Pathfinder. Played around a little bit with 5th edition. I don't have a lot of experience playing 2nd edition, but I've been watching roleplay since the early days and a lot of your campaigns. So I've kind of learned it through that and play tested it with my brother-in-law a little bit. So,
Fantastic. What was your opinion on the difference between 3 and 3.5?
Very little difference. I think it streamlined things a little bit, but they were so close as to really be. It was just really smooth transition from one to the other.
But they came out with a whole new set of books and everything, right?
They did. So yeah, there's a lot of money invested in buying new books. That was about the only transition. Wow. I think they changed up skills and feats a little bit, but they were really similar.
Huh.
Huge jumps between 2 and 3, but not between 3 and 3.5. Yeah.
Well, why don't we do character creation since we're both in Roll20?
Love it.
Pick your stat method of rolling, and I'll put on some background music, and we'll just take it off.
All right. Well, Neil, you seem to have had it a little bit of trouble killing off characters so far, so I thought I'd make it easy on you.
Oh, fantastic.
What I like to do sometimes is to just roll 3d6 down the line and see what kind of character that defines. So that's what I think I'm going to do.
Love it. Let's see how it goes.
All right. So I got a mag before this. Let's see if it works.
Oh, wow. Already all macroed up.
Okay. Oh, wow.
11.
Dexterity?
I think that Dex macro is a little broken.
Oh, I did 3DG. That's not right. Ooh. That was supposed to be 3D6. Let me try that one more time. Because the macro is broken, I totally get to try that again, right?
Sure. That's fine.
Okay. So let's see. This is what happens when you type up your macros quick while you're doing introductions. All right. Let's try that one more time.
Okay. 13, 10, 13, 5, 6, 12, 9.
Oh, man. I am not a smart man, am I? Okay. Well, it's kind of hard to justify anything but fighter or rogue of some kind. I'm thinking fighter. The 5 intelligence? Man, I'm going to be stupid. Okay. But, 12 charisma, so I get along well enough with people. Let's see. Why would I have... Okay. Why would my willpower be so low? So I like to think once the stats are rolled, kind of what these say about my character. I have low intelligence and low willpower. I don't know, maybe I'm a drunk or something. Could be. All right. All right, so let's do, well, actually, okay, I got an idea. What if I'm not necessarily a drunk? What if I grew up in kind of a cult environment and was kind of brainwashed for most of my life?
Ooh.
So I'm thinking some sort of, I grew up in some sort of cult scenario, maybe around a temple where I was kind of bred to just be like a temple guard or something. So I got the strength and the constitution. So they kind of encouraged me to be physically strong, but mentally weak so that they could kind of maintain their control. Something like that. So let's drop a character like that. So I'm going to be a fighter. Character sheet here. Okay. see, I'm going to be a human. Seems to make sense for this guy. Speed for human is 12, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Fighter, my alignment would be, say, lawful neutral. I'm used to taking orders. I'm going to be bald. I have some tattoos on my head related to the cult. Green eyes, I think. Being male. All right, let's have our first roll after stats be for handedness. How about that?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 10 is ambidextrous.
9 is left-handed. 1 through 8 is right-handed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, coming back to roll 20. Roll a d10. 2 right-handed. Okay. Them's the odds. Okay, so I got 13, 10, 13. 5, 6, 12, and 9. Okay, so I'm going to have a lot of zeros and minuses here. Okay. So ability scores for strength. Okay, here's my tables. 13 strength gives me no bonuses for anything. 45 weight allowance. 140 max press. Okay. Yeah, 140. My open doors is an impressive 7%. Ben Barris is 4. Cool. X of 10 is going to be 0 for sure. Constitution, let's see, 70, 75. I don't suppose resurrection survival is likely to come up in a one shot, is it?
No.
No.
Almost impossible. I wouldn't rule it out. You could do some creative stuff, but I would say 99.999.
Yeah. How many people looking to resurrect a first level fighter?
Yeah, not a lot of people would do that. It's kind of a waste of magic, I would expect.
Yeah, I can accept that. Let's see, intelligence. Here's where the fun stuff comes in. Intelligence of 5 means I know 1 language.
Good. You can speak. That's fantastic.
Yeah. It's a little surprising for this guy, actually. Language 1. I'm not going to get any bonuses to magical defense. I hope I don't have any penalties. Does that happen? Yep, -1. Cool. All right, so if there's any enchanters in this cult, I was easy prey.
Makes sense. So you were just a temple guardian sort of guy?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I just kind of stand out the door and inside the door and make sure everything goes okay. Possibly if you're looking for ways to go with the audition, maybe the temple got raided or something. I'm trying to track down who did it.
Huh?
Okay, 12 charisma. My rare double-digit stats is I can have 5 henchmen. Pretty cool. I've never done anything with henchmen. I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, they don't typically come into play.
All right, so the perception, the surprise adjust comes from dexterity, right?
Right.
And the illusion from
Intelligence.
intelligence.
Which needs like a 19 or something.
Yeah, so I'm not going to have, with a 9 perception, I'm not going to be surprise adjust, I'm sure.
Right.
Okay, cool. So I'm thinking of temple guard. I see myself standing outside the temple with a quarterstaff. So I think I'm going to have quarterstaff be my weapon. Specialize in that. Okay. So, should we roll some hit points?
Yes.
Okay.
Colin, that's just a flat D10.
A D10. Fingers crossed. 5.
There you go. That's not too bad.
Totally average. Okay. 5 hit points. You might have to hit me twice to kill me. We'll see. Let's see. All right. Saves. A first level warrior. My saves are 14, 16, 15, 17, 17. 14, 16, 15, 17, 17. Okay. Got no base melee or missile adjust. Okay. Money-wise, I forget what I roll for money. Do you know that top of your head?
5d4 times 10 for fighters.
5d4 times 10. Okay. Let's give it a shot. I'm just going to do 5d4, then I'll multiply it by 10.
Easy peasy.
170.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. All right.
That's some of the best wealth I've ever seen rolled.
Right? That's pretty dang good. Okay, so how does that make sense? Let's see. Must be a pretty successful cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, temple takes all the money, pays their guardians well, I guess. All right. Entice you to stay with the wealth, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Okay. Encumbrance. Yeah, where are the encumbrance rules? I forget.
Chapter 5, chapter 6, money and equipment.
Money
At the back of the chapter.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Character encumbrance. Okay, so with a strength of 13, I'm coming 45, 69, 93. And 117, 140 is my max. All right, fighters level at 2,000. Now, if I'm able to get enough XP to level, you can let me start at level 2 if I make the show?
No.
I didn't think so, but I had to ask.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at proficiencies. Definitely going to want to specialize in that quarterstaff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, how many do I get? For a warrior, I start with 4 weapon and 3 non-weapon, and then my 1 language means I get a 4th non-weapon. Correct?
For fighters, they can do weapon or non-weapon.
Ooh,
For everyone else, it has to be non-weapon.
that's good to know. Okay, so I could get up to 5 weapon proficiencies. Now it takes 1 just to be proficient, and then a 2nd to specialize. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I can only specialize in 1 thing. Mastery has to come later, right?
Right. Mastery comes at, I think, level 5, and high mastery at level 6.
Okay. So we got a quarterstaff, 2 slots to be specialized. I can do armor specialization too, though, couldn't I?
Yes. That would just cut the weight of the armor in half for you.
All right. I'm thinking I won't have a shield because quarterstaff is 2-handed. Let's see, what kind of armor can I afford? Quarterstaff is dirt cheap, so I'm saving money there. Lifts, armor. Okay, so I have 170. Could get chainmail, wouldn't be bad. Could get scale. Do you know what the AC bonus is on scale?
4. Chain is better.
Chain is better. Okay. What is it for brigandine?
Ooh. I don't know off the top of my head.
I could afford it. Oh, I think I got the link to it. Oh, no, never mind. Brigandine. Looks like it's also 4.
Could be.
Yeah, in table 46.
All right.
With scale mail or hide. Okay. All right, so I think chainmail is probably going to be my best bet. I'm going to specialize in chainmail too. All right, chainmail. It's just 1 slot for that. And some sort of ranged weapon. Now, bow takes... Is it just 1 slot for a bow, or is it 2 slots for a bow?
The rules is written say 1 slot for a bow. I like to do 2 slots for bow, but 0 slots for crossbow.
Right. Okay, that's where I saw that. Okay. So I could do a longbow, or I could just do slings or a dart. Thinking slings kind of make sense. They go kind of well with a quarterstaff in terms of the temple guard motif. Maybe let's do sling. I'll do a sling. Okay. All right, so I need non-weapon proficiencies.
Do you have any thoughts on non-weapon proficiencies, or still just scanning? Ooh. Oh no. That's why it went quiet. We have a slight technical problem here. I'm sure it'll get resolved in just a moment. Huzzah! You're back.
Hey, I'm back. So my power just went out for some reason. That's strange.
That was a really
So-
fast restart time.
Yeah, I just switched over to my hotspot on my phone, so we're running off that right now.
Cool.
So hopefully that'll work okay. Okay, so I was doing proficiencies. Let's see, I get 3 non-weapon at least. I'm going to take a dagger proficiency here too. Well, I'm kind of thinking, how priests are kind of adverse to shedding blood, and they always do bludgeoning weapons.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of thinking of sticking with that for the temple guard motif. So maybe I won't do a dagger. Trying to think of another good.
Quarterstaff and sling, right?
Yeah. I could take a club or a mace, but I don't know when I'd use those if I have my quarterstaff.
Right.
So let's see what we have for non-weapon proficiencies here. Maybe I want to take a 4th one there. Okay, so I can do general or warrior, and then anything from another list just takes an extra slot, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to take... Ooh, I could take blind fighting. Yeah, he's not going to have a lot of proficiencies. A lot of these aren't going to be relevant to him, I don't think, just because his job was literally stand outside a door.
Mm-hmm.
So they just wanted to train him to be a good guard. So I'm thinking something like maybe blind fighting and endurance could reflect his training.
Okay.
So let's do that. Those are each 2. So that would use up all my slots. Okay. So blind fighting is 2. And endurance is 2. Okay. And endurance is flat con, it looks like. So 13. Okay. And then there's no check for blind fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's get some gear, and I think that's all I need here. So I'm going to have a quarterstaff for sure. Sling with some bullets. Chainmail. And I can count that as half weight because I'm specialized, yes?
Right.
Okay. All right. If I'm going out in the world, I think they would give me water skin. Maybe some rations. Rope. Ooh, how much are manacles, actually?
I don't think they're listed in the player's handbook, but I think I have alternative method for it.
Okay, because this is a pretty well-to-do temple, and they're sending me out to maybe bring back whoever's responsible for raiding. I think they might give me some manacles. Obviously, it'll come out of my money, but...
Yeah, right here I have manacles listed at 50 GP. They've got little small locks in them. It's hard to produce.
Sure. Okay. And how much is the weight on those?
4 pounds.
4 pounds. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think I just kind of have the rest of the money maybe for bribes to get information or something. I think I'd be traveling pretty light here. So let's look at. Let's look at the weights of some of this stuff. Okay, equipment. We got weapons, the quarterstaff is, oh, there's just a dasher price. This is free because I can just break it off a tree or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, you can make a quarterstaff.
Sure. Okay, so that's 4 pounds. And we got a sling. That might be free too.
I think it's got a slight cost with it.
Close. Let's see, a sling, yeah, 5 copper. Negligible weight. Bullets are 1 copper each. They weigh half a pound. So if I take like 20 bullets, that would be 10 pounds. And then 2.5 silver. Okay. 10 pounds. 20. Okay, so far I've spent 75 on chainmail. Manacles are 50. That's 125. I had 170. That's 45 minus 2.5 silver. This is where I appreciate being a math teacher. One of the other guys who was on talked about setting up like a club at his library for gaming. I thought that was a really cool idea. I've actually been wanting to do that, like an after-school club at my middle school.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, because there's a lot of educational value, I think, to learning to game. You know, there's a lot of number sense involved. There's a lot of vocabulary words that I only know because of gaming. Like deaf and straight. Who's ever heard the word deaf and straight before?
I have not heard the word deaf and straight. What does it mean?
Yeah, but there's this. It means to throw someone out a window, and I only know this. I only know this because there's a spell in like 3rd edition called Defenestrating Sphere. That's literally what it does. Is it just throws you out a window.
I didn't know that there was a word for that particular thing.
Yeah.
I guess that must have been a very common thing once upon a time to get its own word.
I guess so. All right. So we got that. Yeah, and I still have almost 45 gold left over, so that's pretty sweet. Sling has no weight. Water skin and rations. Let's see how much those cost / weigh. And that should be it. So water staff, that would be miscellaneous equipment. So water skin is, water skin isn't on here. It's just wine skin?
Might be under wine skin. 8 silver, weighs a pound. It holds a quart for an additional 2 pounds.
Okay. So the wine skin itself is a pound, so full would be 3?
Right.
Okay. All right, so I got water skin is 3 pounds. That cost me 8 silver. And rations. That's the last thing. Is rations?
They've
that would
got
be under food, wouldn't it? Food and
yeah.
lodging.
They list 3 different types of rations without explaining the difference between any of them, which is
Okay.
fantastic. I've tried to simplify it into dry rations and standard rations. Standard rations are 2 silver for a day and weighs 4 pounds, while dry rations are 6 silver for a day and weigh 2 pounds.
Okay. So I can't imagine eating very fancy. So let's say I got about 5 days. Let's see, probably dry rations. All right, so how much? Can you give me those numbers one more time?
It's 3 gold and 10 pounds for 5 days of dry rations.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So my total weight is coming in 44, 7, 51. So I am lightly encumbered. Because my base is 45. Okay. Well, good thing I took that chainmail proficiency. But once I start eating some rations and shooting some bullets, I should drop down below my base. So, all right, I think I'm good to go.
All right, so let's go over your character's backstory again. What is it?
So, I should have a name, shouldn't I?
Oh yeah, a name would be great.
Oh man, I hate coming up with names. Let's call me. Garon. Gaeron. Garon. All right. So Garon was born into a small community with a very powerful temple presence that was really a cult. Very much, give everything to the temple and you'll live. And if not, then you'll be horribly cursed kind of deal. Apparently a very successful temple because they have a lot of money. But I was bred from a very young age to be a stupid, mindless guardian that stands outside the temple, making it look more powerful and protecting it from threats. So that's where I've been most of my life. And are we going to go with the temple was raided, or are you going to...
Well, it's up to you. How do you want to... Do you want to still be there? Do you want the temple to be raided? Did you flee? How do you want to decide on what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm going to say like some bandits came by and were able to make off with some items from the temple, and the temple obviously can't have that because that'll make them look weak and kind of undercut their following. So I've been sent off to retrieve the items.
Who was on guard duty when it got raided, and what happened to them?
Let's say probably me, because that would make sense as to why they're sending me out. So my perception is not great. My perception is 9. So while I'm pretty a stalwart character, I'm not necessarily very aware of my surroundings. So maybe I was just caught unawares and like they either got in and got out without me even noticing, or maybe they got behind me and sapped me because I only have 5 hit points, so I could go down to a sap fairly easily. So got blindsided, they got in and out, and I need to bring the things back, or I will be exiled from the community. Kind of bring it back or don't come back at all.
Right. Okay. Cool. So it is a stormy day. I think today is probably the day that you set off. from your little community? Is it a town, a village, a little hamlet out somewhere?
Yeah, a little hamlet.
Cool. So today is the day that you set off. It is dark and stormy. There's thunder and lightning off in the distance. Whatever family you have in town has come to see you off. A little bit of regret because you've already brought shame upon their family, so they want to encourage you to go and do everything right and bring it back and kind of restore the honor of their family name.
Sure.
So here you are at the edge of town. What is your first step?
Well, I've probably never been outside the town before, so I'm nervous but determined. I can be kind of single-minded, as reflects my upbringing. So I know my only way to stay here in service to the temple is to go find these people. So I'm going to go to the nearest town that I'm aware of, head straight there, and start asking around.
Okay. Right. It is a long and slow journey to the next town over. In the best of weather, it would take a day of walking, but in this rain and this muck, it's going to take twice that. It's just,
Okay.
your boots get stuck to the ground, you got to stop more often. Just an unpleasant journey.
So what you're saying is I can take off 2 days of rations here.
Yes, that's it.
Excellent.
So at the end of your first day, you're out here in this miserable weather. What do you do for shelter?
Ooh, I have no survival skills to speak of. I would try to find, if it's miserable weather, I'd try to find some sort of cave or overhang. What's the terrain like?
I think it's mostly open plains with scattered trees about, some creeks and hills. They're like I should say, gently rolling hills that are covered in fields or tall grasses with some scattered trees.
Okay, so I'm looking for someplace with some sort of overhang, whether it's like under a tree or if there's a place where there's kind of like a cove dug into like the base of a hill or something like that. Just something where I have something on top of, above me to catch the rain. But it's probably not going to be a very good spot because I'm not skilled or smart.
Right. So you find somewhere that gives you at least a little bit of shelter, but it's not that great, and you spend the night kind of shaking and shivering in the cold, waking up in the morning with the still miserable downpour, but at least semi-rested. Doesn't really feel like you've slept, but the sun's back up on the other side of the clouds, at least enough for you to see where you're going.
Yeah, this only confirms Garon's suspicion that the temple is the only place worth being, and the rest of the world is miserable.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, end of that day, long trudging, you come up to this next town over. It has a wall around it, and you're approaching it from the south side. The guards at the gate are all on the inside right now. They've got like a little hatch in the door that they can open up to see who's coming. And someone must have spotted you before you arrived, because as you pull up to the door, the hatch is already open, and there's some guard on the other side looking out at you. You there! Who are you?
My name is Garon.
Huh? What brings you here in this miserable weather?
I'm looking for someone.
That person got a name?
Probably, but I don't know it. Do I need an invitation to come into town?
We like to know who's coming in for what business. Make sure you're not some sort of brigand.
Oh no, I am not a brigand, sir. I am tracking brigands.
You got any weapons?
I knocked my quarterstaff on the ground. I'm probably using it as a walking stick. Maybe indicate the sling on my waist.
Okay. He nods and opens a small door in the gate for you, and lets you on in. He's got like a little overhang on the other side of the gate where he's hanging out. You notice there are a few other guards huddled around a brazier that's stuffed with coal.
I look longingly at the brazier.
Where the hell are you coming from?
Oh, does my community have a name?
Sure, probably.
I hadn't thought about what that would be. Yeah, I'm in from. Did I mention I'm terrible with names?
Yeah.
Especially place names. East Ridge. Let's go with that.
Well, there's an inn down the way if you need to find somewhere to dry off, get some food.
I nod.
Have you seen? Must be some hell of a person that you're searching, bringing you out like this.
Well, they got some explaining to do and some accounting to make. Have you seen any strange figures coming through here the last couple of days? Anyone looking shady?
Well, we try not to let the shady ones in, but hard to get a gauge on them. Yesterday we had a trio of men come through. They're the only outsiders I've seen in the last week, aside from you.
Come from the same direction?
Well, north side's the swamp. Really, it's also the only direction to come from.
Okay. All right. You know where they went off to? Are they at that inn, or?
I pointed them in the same direction as I'm pointing you. Don't know if that's where they ended up going or not, but you just take this stone road here and take a right down 100 yards or so. Side street that's got an inn on it.
All right. Appreciate it.
All
right. I nod to him and head to the inn.
Okay. You follow his directions and soon enough come across an inn. There's a sign out front that tells you what the name is, but I think you're illiterate, so it's just an inn.
Yep. Sure. But I recognize it from the guard's description, okay?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Great. Yep, I will walk in. What time of day is it?
It must be getting on towards evening.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'll walk in. Are there still people in the common room, or?
There are. It's actually quite packed right now. Looks like the common room also has a full-service bar and kitchen. So, a busy place on a stormy day. You can smell the delicious scent of spiced potatoes wafting in from the back room, along with some bacon, and is that some sort of herbs mixed in with the potatoes?
Okay, so I will head up to the bar and ask how much for a drink and share whatever's in the pot.
Yeah. They say it's 3 silver for food and a night's lodging. If you're looking for that. And drinks are a couple of copper each.
Okay. I'll put down 3 silver and say let's start there.
Okay. They bring you out a bowl full of potatoes and vegetables and all sorts of wonderful seasonings.
Okay. So while I am sitting there eating my food, I'm going to kind of try to casually glance around. I'm looking for the guard said a trio of guys, so I'm looking for 3 guys who are kind of sitting together, maybe appear to not necessarily be affiliated with anyone else in the town.
Yeah. You do spot
Can I find any the 3?
You spot a group of people wearing traveling cloaks huddled over on the far side, kind of back behind the stairs, at the most obscure spot in the inn where you've got the worst view of everything. So that they don't have a very good view of anything, and no one's got a very good view of them.
Okay. So I probably have a sense of the kind of like what was stolen from the temple, if it's silver, gold, what it looks like, that kind of thing. So I'm going to try to just keep my eye on them and see kind of what they're doing and see if I can catch any glimpse of anything that I might recognize.
Okay. why don't you give me a perception check?
Okay. We're going to do a d20 plus 9. $24.
Nice. So you managed to get a spot close enough to them to overhear part of their conversation. And it seems like they're talking about when it is they can sell their merchandise and get out of here. They don't specify what their merchandise is, but it seems like they wanna sell something and leave. One guy is saying, "Well, weather like this, it's not time to leave. We should wait at least for the sun to come out and the rain to dry a little bit. Make a lot better time that way, a lot less miserable." The other guys are saying, "Well, probably better just to leave now and suffer through the bad weather today. Maybe, a little pain now is better in the long run. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure," and all that. And they just kind of go back and forth discussing the plan.
Okay. Have I finished my dinner by this point?
If you'd like to have.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to listen as long as I can to see if they come to a conclusion if they're going to try to take off today or tomorrow. If they still seem to be going back and forth after a while, then I might intercede.
Yeah, they talk for another 15 minutes on the subject and then decide that they're going to wait one more day and see what the weather's like. And they'll just take it a day at a time.
Okay. Am I still at the bar?
Yeah, you're at a table near these guys. Maybe like
Okay.
2 tables away, trying to listen in.
Sure. All right, I'll head back to the bar to get another drink, and I will put down a gold piece on the bar, and keep my fingers on it and make eye contact with the barkeep.
Yeah. When the barkeep notices, he comes over and leans in real close and puts his hand on top of yours. Can I help you?
And I'm gonna whisper to him, those 3 men in the back. They staying here? What do you know about them?
Came in yesterday. Got 3 rooms. Staying here. Don't know how long.
Okay. You seen them flash around any unusual wealth?
No more than you're doing right now.
Okay. All right, I'll take my fingers off the gold and nod at the barkeeper.
He takes the gold and pours you another drink, sets it in front of you.
All right, I'll thank him and head back to my table.
All right, you get back to your table.
Okay. I would like to I'm pretty tired because I didn't sleep very well last night, and I'm confident they're going to be staying another day based on our conversation. So I want to get to bed early and wake up. I want to wake up pretty early. I want to make sure I wake up before them. So I don't know if I drink a lot of water to make sure I wake up in time or how I can do that. But definitely going to bed early to try to do that.
Cool. You go to bed early. When you wake up the next day, the rain continues, but the thunder and lightning has abated. The common room downstairs is pretty empty.
Can I buy?
You buy a what?
Can I buy a poncho or something in town? A poncho or something?
Yeah, definitely. Why don't you chill out, like 5 silver for one?
Okay. All right, 5 silver for a poncho.
Yeah.
Then yeah, my plan is to actually wait outside and watch for one of them leaving the inn and follow them. one or all three.
Sure. Maybe an hour passes, and eventually you see them come downstairs a little bit late, like they slept in or something. Start ordering up some food and just chatting with one another. I guess you're outside the inn. There's a couple of benches out there for people to sit and watch the road. So I guess you poke your head in from time to time through a window and see what's going on in there. They take a good 45 minutes to eat their food. And then...
Is there only the one entrance here?
Let's see. Yeah, there's just the one main entrance of the inn. There's probably a kitchen exit you would expect, but you didn't see any other exits.
Sure. Okay. All right. Yeah, as long as I'm fairly convinced they'd only be going out the one door, I don't need to stay particularly close to that door either. I might go across the street just to make sure that I can see it, so if they leave, I can slip in behind them.
Sure. Across the street is a rather large wall. Goes up maybe 15 feet, made out of stone. But it's got some nice vines and flowers growing below it and around it and on it. But you get a nice view of them, and you see they hang out in the inn. They finish their food. Then they just put their feet up on their table and start shooting the breeze. Doesn't look like they're going anywhere.
How crowded is the tap room right now?
Almost empty. That's got these guys, a bartender, a couple of wait staff, and maybe 5 other patrons in a room that could easily hold 40.
Okay. I am going to play up to my 5 intelligence here, and I'm going to go into the inn, and I'm going to go over to their table.
They stop their conversation as you approach. And they just kind of look at you.
Okay. I would like to sit down at the table and say in a low voice, some of my eyes and ears in this town tell me that you have some merchandise you're trying to unload. And I pull out my purse and set it heavily on the table. Whoa. I am interested in buying.
Well. They kind of all exchange looks for a moment, seeming a little surprised by this. And what exactly is it that you're here to buy?
Okay, Neil, what was taken from the temple? Was it like artwork? Was it jewelry?
I think it was a gold idol.
Gold idol, okay. So I would say I'm interested in all sorts of piece of artwork, paintings, statues, and I'll make sure idols is in the list, but I'll give like a list of things so it doesn't look like I'm specifically asking about that.
Mm-hmm. Well then, we've got something that we'd be willing to sell on that list. Why don't you kind of look around the room? The one guy shakes his head and pulls out a sack from his side that lands on the table with a heavy thud. He unrolls the bag from around it, and sure enough, there's that little, this tall gold idol of your deity that sits there. He goes, This here is one of the finest artifacts that you can find. Ancient, years beyond counting. We rescued it from a crocodile who had stolen it from its rightful place in an old temple.
I would like to attack the closest one with my quarterstaff.
All right, well, you've got surprise on them, so why don't you roll me a... Take the roll to hit. Go with a +1 for
That's
surprise.
what I was hoping. +1 for surprise. Again, I got a +1 for specialization. So D20 +2.
Mm-hmm.
$21.
Oh my god.
Natural 19.
He's also sitting, so that's another +2, so that's a 23. He's got 10 AC. That is a double crit. Please roll me 3 times damage dice.
All right, so that's 3d6 +2.
Yes.
Come on. 13.
You crack him in the head, which splits it open, splattering his brains across the barroom floor. Everyone kind of freaks out, not knowing what's going on here. And roll for initiative.
All right, I say you robbed the wrong temple. All right. Am I just doing D10 or am I adding weapon speed?
D10 plus weapon speed, please.
All right, do you know what the weapon speed is on a quarterstaff?
4.
All right, so that's 7.
Okay. The one guy gets up, grabs the idol, and starts making for the staircase. But he is within range of you, so you get an attack of opportunity on him.
Excellent. All right, D20 plus. I don't have surprise anymore.
But you do
He's standing up.
He stands up and turns his back to you, so you get back attack.
Okay, so that's D20 plus 3 total?
Yes, sir.
Okay. D20 plus 3. 23,
God.
natural 20.
Same roll as before.
Woo. All right, 3d6 plus 2. Let's do it. 12 damage.
Same thing. You bring the quarterstaff down on this guy's head. You can see it dent before his face hits the floor. The third person is in the middle of getting out of his chair. He lowers himself back down and raises his hands. Hey there. Hey there.
What else did you take?
That's it. Just the idol.
Do I know that's true?
That's pretty much all that they took. Maybe some small
Okay.
herbs and incense and just crap that was lying around. This is the valuable thing they took.
Sure. Okay, I will pick up the idol. I'll keep the kind of menacing him with my quarterstaff and say, "You saw what I just did to these men.
Yep. Saw it.
Nobody messes with Eastridge Temple."
Got it. I'll make sure everyone knows.
All right, you're gonna make sure that people know that they mess with my temple. That's what happened.
Yep.
All right. I'll is the barkeeper there?
You take a look. The barkeep is gone. The other people in the room seem to have fled as soon as the fighting started. So right now it's just you, this guy, and a couple of corpses.
Okay. So I'm going to take the idol and I'm going to slowly back out the door, kind of keeping my quarterstaff pointed at him the whole way.
He remains seated.
And then once I get out, okay. Once I get out, I'm headed home.
All right. As you step out into the streets, you see people down the street towards the main gate pointing to you and talking to one another. And as you move in their direction...
Okay, I pay no attention. I'm just headed home. I'm just excited to have the idol and ready to get back home.
Okay. You get back out to the main road that leads to the gate when you see 3 town guards headed your way. The person that you recognize as one of the other people in the tavern at the time, following along beside them, pointing, "That's him! That's him!"
Okay. The guards are walking towards me?
Yeah, they carry spears and leather armor.
Okay. Yeah, I will direct and approach them.
Okay. They keep their spears
Not
pointed
to
at
'em.
you from 15 feet away, and one of them says, Put down your weapons, now!
Can I put my quarterstaff, like, on my back?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just put my quarterstaff on my back and try to explain the situation. My name is Garon. I'm in town tracking thieves from my temple in Eastridge, and I show them the idol. This is what they stole, so I've taken my property back.
What is your reaction adjustment under your charisma?
My charisma is 12, so I don't think I have one. Let me double check. All right, charisma 12, reaction adjust 0. Yeah.
Okay. They keep their spears pointed on you and say, "This guy says you just killed 2 men."
I did. They were thieves.
Well, it's for the law to decide who lives and dies, not you. Think you're gonna have to come with us.
All right. I'm lawful. I'm used to submitting to authority, so I think I'd go with them.
Okay. They are kind of rough with you. One of them grabs each of your shoulders, each of your arms. The other one walks behind you, with the spear still pointed at you the whole way. And they march you through the town streets until you come to the jailhouse.
Okay.
Stop. It is a rather small building. You can see the town sheriff with his boots propped up on the table there. Watches you come in, asks what's going on. The guards explain it. They open one of the 3 jail cells here. The other 2 are empty at the moment. And take your gear from you, everything except for your clothes, and kind of shove you in the jail cell. And they stack all your items off to the side, well out of reach.
Okay.
The sheriff comes over once you've been jailed and leans against the bars and goes, "So, you killed a couple of men for stealing from your temple, huh?"
That I did.
Well, I can certainly understand that, but the thing is, around here, you can't just kill people for that sort of thing. There's this, rule of law. I don't know what part of the world you're from, but around here, the only people that can condemn a man to death is the Count and the gods.
Yeah, the gods. I was sent here by my temple. The elders of my temple are the smallest step below the gods. They speak with their authority. They told me to come retrieve this at all costs.
Well, unfortunately, we don't recognize the authority of your temple. Which god did you say they worshipped?
Oh boy. Let's see. I didn't determine that either. This is a cult, so I don't even know if it's an actual.
Right, just some. out
Yeah,
there.
it might be some god that nobody's ever heard of. Sherabon.
Cherubon.
Yes. All glory to Sherabon.
Right.
Have you not heard the good news of Sherabon?
I don't rightfully believe I have.
you should come back with me, and the elders of the temple can explain everything, and they can tell you everything you need to know. They're wise men.
I'm sure they are. Unfortunately, you're not going anywhere. So let's see what it was that was worth killing over, huh? He goes over and rifles through your bag until he finds the gold idol. Lets out a low whistle and goes, well, this is worth a pretty penny. I can see why your elders wanted this back.
It is sacred.
Yeah, sacred and covered in gold.
What do you mean I'm not going anywhere? I need to return it to my temple.
Well, it's a little unfortunate for you, but it doesn't look like you're going to be going anywhere. You'll be held on charges of murder, tried, probably found guilty, and hung off the bridge. And this little artifact, finders keepers, and he takes it back over towards his desk. DC is real. DC is real. Well, we were basically at the end of our audition anyway. I wonder if his phone died because he was Wi-Fiing off his phone because the power went out. So we'll just give him a moment to reconnect here. But if he doesn't, I think we were at the end. And ooh, here we go. Hey, you're back.
All right, sorry about that. So the good news is my power came back on.
Woo!
So I have my normal internet.
Fantastic.
And my computer's not going to die. So sweet.
Beautiful. All
okay.
Right. So the sheriff takes out the gold idol, makes his way over to his desk, saying, well, finders keepers, I guess this is mine now, and you'll probably be hung for murder in the next couple of days. How do you take that sentence?
I'm sorry, I cut out again for a minute there. Could you say that one more time?
Yeah. The sheriff looks through your bag, pulls out the idol, goes, well, this is what it was for, right? All that bit. And then he says, I think your fate's sealed there, young man. You'll probably be tried for murder, found guilty since you did it, and be hung from the bridge.
Okay.
And in the meantime, this little pretty gold idol here, well, I think this is a strong case of finders keepers.
Okay, am I in a cell or?
You are in a cell with just your clothes.
Okay. I guess my first instinct would be to try an almost hopeless, would it be open doors or bend bars?
Bend bars.
Okay, so that is a 4%. So I need to roll 4 or lower.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I'm gonna try it. Hey, with those combat rolls, who knows?
Right?
Okay. Come on. Nope.
You strain your muscles and the bars don't bend. The sheriff laughs at you for trying.
Okay.
And goes back to his desk with the gold idol sitting on top of a stack of papers as a paperweight. Puts his feet back up and starts playing with the deck of cards.
Okay, I'm going to wait about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to try to talk to him again. I'm going to try to use my impressive 12 charisma, my second highest stat.
Nice.
And I'm going to try to tell him that idol has more spiritual value than gold value. If it's gold that you're after, there are things at the temple that are worth more, but less sacred. If you come back with me, I will trade them.
Yeah, I heard that one before, kid.
He's not buying it.
Mm-mm.
Dang What'll it take to get that idol back from you?
Divine intervention?
Yeah, I already tried that. I gestured to the bars.
Yeah. Look, kid, I understand what you did, and it's a noble thing and all. You know, willing to kill for the things you believe in, but I guess today just wasn't your lucky day. Life's a bitch, then you die. No?
Yeah. All right. So
you know what? I'll do you a favor. You tell me where it is you're from, and I'll send a messenger down on there and let him know what befell your fate.
You know, based on the level of integrity you're showing right now, I don't think I want you to know where my temple is.
And here I thought we were getting to be friends.
Friends don't usually steal from their friends and then have them hanged for murder.
Well, their friends are murderers. What are you gonna do about it, right? Let you go?
Yeah, I'd be a fan of that. Like I said, I can make it mutually beneficial.
And I just don't believe you. I think you would say anything to get out of this sentence.
So, now, is my purse in my bag? Or is it on me?
Yeah, it's in your bag. They took everything but your clothes. Unless you had, like, something hidden in your boots or underneath your belt.
No.
Not on you.
I wouldn't have thought of that. All right, if you were in my bag, you probably saw my purse. Now, I am a lowly temple guard, and that is a weighty purse. Imagine how much more wealth the temple has.
He heads back over to your bag, rifles through it until he finds your purse. How much gold is in there?
Like 40.
He gives a low whistle. Wow. You might not be full of shit after all.
I'm not generally smart enough to make up shit.
Alright. How about this? I write your little village, tell them you're here, and allow them to ransom you back. We've been known to overlook murder from time to time for an appropriate ransom. You would be barred from ever entering the city again on pain of death, but you might just get yourself free. And if the price is right, be willing to trade this. He shakes the statue as well. So,
Well,
where do you live?
see, there's a lot of ifs there. It's a question of if they'll believe that I'm here, if they'll believe you'll let me go. It would work a lot smoother if they saw me, and I might have to be a little bit circumspect about getting you the wealth. So they might not hand it over knowingly, but if a few gems disappear and the statue finds its way back, overall the temple's better off.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good deal for me. Sorry, kid. But I appreciate the extra 40-ish gold.
This is what's wrong with the world. Corrupt people in power.
All right, and I think that's it for our audition. I think you get hung for murder, but you did temporarily achieve your goals.
Can I attempt? My plan would be, or anything else, to wait until they open the door to get me out and then just try to bum rush. Can I make some sort of wild dash for it?
Sure, you can make some sort of wild dash for it, but there are multiple guards here. But
Yeah.
why not? So like a week later, they come to let you out to go to your hanging. It appears that they've just skipped the whole trial section, or they had it without you. Habeas corpus is not a big thing in this place.
Fair enough.
So the door is going to open. There's the sheriff and 2 guards there.
Do I know where the idol is?
It's still sitting on the sheriff's desk in plain
Okay,
sight.
yeah, so my plan is just like bum rush straight through him, grab the idol, and run for the door.
All right. Let's see if they are surprised by this course of action.
I'll try to act like defeated up until that point, if that helps.
They don't seem... Well, they seem to not be too surprised. You're probably not the first prisoner that's tried to make a desperate break once the cell opens. So I'll give you an initiative roll against the 2 guards and the sheriff.
Okay. Just D10 plus 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 4. Nice.
All right, you go. You make a break for it. One of the guards has his spear resting against the thing because he was opening the gate, so he doesn't get an attack. The other guard has his spear up, wasn't quite in attack position, but the sheriff is ready for anyone that might do this sort of thing. So as you make a break for it, he gets an attack of opportunity as you run past him unarmed.
I don't suppose they left my armor on, did they?
No. He takes a slash at you. Your armor class is just 10 without armor, right?
Yep, afraid so.
He slashes at you with his sword for a whopping 7, 8, 9 points of damage because he's a specialized fighter.
Ooh,
And
ouch.
drops you to the ground. And your last thoughts are, well, there goes another one. Or your last words you hear are that. And you
Okay,
die.
so I die, my eyes still fixed on the idol, reaching out to it as everything fades to black. Well, I told you I was going to make it easy on you.
Well, I appreciate that. It's not enough character deaths these days.
That's right. At 5 intelligence, man, that's hard to roleplay sometimes.
Oh, definitely.
But I think that's what a 5 intelligence guy would have done.
Yeah, make a break for it as soon as there's an option. I do that.
Yeah, when trusting the guards, with the whole brainwashed cult personality.
Right. Well, that is our audition for today. Greg, do you have any final words before we sign off?
Thanks for the opportunity. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to enjoy the campaign whether I'm playing or watching. So, go AoS.
Sweet. The next auditions will be on Monday the 15th. We've got one at noon and one at 2, and then another on Tuesday. So stick around for those next week. And right now we're going to go into some I shouldn't say generic, but some general streaming. But I'll restart the stream. Greg, it was a pleasure to play with you, and I hope to see you again. So,
All right, thanks, Neil.
See you guys later. Bye-bye.
See ya.